It's Anahata. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Today's going to be a classic example of your mess is your medicine. So you've probably heard me say this before, and really what it means is the things that you're going through are the things that other people need assistance with because they find you through that vibration. And so I've actually been experiencing a relationship issue, and it's really a non-issue because it's an amazing relationship. But I know that what I really dove into as a result of being faced with this issue, but with conscious eyes now for the first time, it allowed us not to perpetuate it into dysfunction. And so I really received divine guidance on this one, a lot of it, and it just came pouring in, and I want to share it with you because I think it's going to make a difference in your relationships. I created a game called Exploding Hearts. Hi Delia, hi Nancer, hi Brad, hi Steve. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so I've been healing from a surgery that I had. It was small. I have stitches now up here in my head. I won't show them to you. Anyway, and so I've been going through some things, not being able to work out, which I adore, and combine that with I just lost a friend. He passed a couple weeks ago, and his funeral was yesterday. And so there's just a lot of things that were going on in my life, usually blissful, that weren't so blissful. And so long story short, I experienced a rub with my relationship. Now, guys, I'm in my soulmate relationship right now. We are exactly the perfect match. And so it's been incredible. And inevitably, when there's a rub of some kind, you want to get through it quickly and with little drama, because that's the past, right? Your past relationships, you don't want to cycle that through. And so breathing consciousness into the now to understand what is the dynamic going on. And what was revealed to me is the medicine for the moment, which I know each and every one of you are in need of, and that is why you came here to this Facebook Live. If you need to come back to it, do so. It's going to be a little long. And I'm just telling you, because we're going to go through Exploding Hearts. Now, this game, it really is just a way for you to breathe consciousness into your patterns with your relationships. And I want you to first kind of try on the remembrance, and this is the remembrance that I have, is that women and men have different needs based on the way they're wired. Now, you can have feminine men and masculine women, and that's totally fine. This is a spectrum. But in general, from the get-go, when we were hunters and gatherers, women were nurturers, right? We're the nurturers. And men are the providers, okay? So this is kind of woven into our masculine versus feminine energy. Feminine is nurturing, dark womb, right? Masculine is action and all of that, aligned with providing. So a woman's core desire is to nurture, and a man's core desire is to provide. And this is the way we feel loved, okay? Now, when we don't feel this, like for women, if we're feeling that our love is not received in some way, either the love we're giving or we're not receiving the love we need, we shut down. Likewise, when men aren't feeling valued, important, and like they're doing a good job, right? They shut down. And so the whole point is understanding the dynamic that is occurring that's rooted in the way we were wired from the very beginning, okay? Hunters and gatherers. Women are nurturers, men are providers. And so I came up with this game, even though it's not really a game. It's just a way to shed consciousness onto the patterning that's going on in your relationship so that you can move forward in love and not in pain, because you do have a choice. And that's where this is exploding hearts. You're either exploding with love or you're exploding with pain. And I think we should all be exploding with love, right? So this is going to be a no duh, but we forget. Love feels good. Do you see the smiley face? Understanding feels good. Smiley face. Anger feels bad. I know it sounds odd, but blame feels bad, right? We've got to get in touch with feelings in terms of how they feel. Do they feel good or bad? When you withdraw, when someone withdraws from you, does that feel good or bad? And so the problem with any relationship issue, exploding hearts of pain, is one thing. And these are what I call the universal truth cards. These are the higher knowing cards. So you have a sun on them. The problem is lack of understanding. Okay, that's the problem. So what would you guess the solution is? Understanding, right? That is the solution. And it all comes down to the fact, and now here are the, these are the cubes. These are the reality cubes. You know, it just is what it is. There is no, it is what it is. And the is what it is cards are how you feel. It is what it is. Whether it's right or wrong or good or bad, it's irrelevant, right? It's a square. It is. So that's how I feel, right? That's how you feel. It is what it is. There's no point in analyzing if it was a good feeling or an appropriate response or anything. It is what it is. Likewise, how you feel. So this is you and them. How you feel and how I feel is what it is. It really is. And whether we are mirroring pain or love is also what it is. And guys, the problem is when we start to project out pain in response to our feelings, right? And so there's some good information if you've never heard of the Enneagram. The Enneagram lists our core fears and our core desires. And there are 9 of them. But it really, really was helpful in deciphering why do we feel the way we feel when I was analyzing this, you know, so that we can really breathe consciousness into our decisions and we can stop that cycle of pain. Because again, it's just a misunderstanding. Either they don't understand how you feel or you don't understand how they feel, right? That's the only issue. So as long as we can understand the way we feel and strive for the solution, which is understanding, we've got a good shot at moving forward. Now, the interesting dynamic that I want to mention with women as related to nurturer versus provider is when women are feeling like their love and their nurturing is unreceived, right? Either in the giving and someone says, no, I don't want that, or in the receiving where they just aren't giving you the love back that you want, you shut down, okay? Now, what happens is you're feeling unheard, you're feeling not loved, you're feeling separate, you're feeling neglected, right? And so what do you do as a woman to turn that around? You communicate. Now, the problem with that, here's the dynamic, is that men in general, I'm just generalizing here, they perceive of your communication as they're doing something wrong. They're not providing for you. They're not good enough. They're not valued. They're weak. And so do you see the dynamic with a nurturer communicating their dis-ease with the provider and how it's cyclical. So what happens is when a man feels that way, even though you have the best intention in mind to explain why you are feeling like your love isn't received, they then retreat. Now the problem with that is the more they retreat because they feel like they're wrong or bad or not good enough or not providing, the more you feel like the love isn't received and or given. And so it's a cycle, a downward spiral, in fact. It's not a good place to be. And so when we can breathe understanding into this dynamic and what I call remedies with the exploding hearts, we can really have a shot at moving back into the love vibration and exploding with joy, not pain. And so the key is, these are the keys that you really need to make sure you're both on board with, is that you both want to make each other feel good. Can you agree on that? I want to make you feel good. We don't want to cause each other pain. That's not what we want. And we don't want pain. So we can both agree, you can all agree that that's good. That's an intentional, that's a key. Another key, that you want to feel important. You want to feel worth it. You want to feel like your needs are being addressed. You are important. This is a key. Another key, you want to feel loved. You want to feel loved. You are loved. This is key. You want to feel understood. I understand how you feel, okay? Or at least you're willing to understand how they feel. This is a good one. You are not wrong, okay? We like to confuse consciousness with blame. And so here's where I have another higher truth to throw at you with the sun. Consciousness is not blame. Just because you are explaining something on a conscious level so that everyone can understand the dynamic does not mean that you are making them wrong. So it's important to understand you are not wrong, and consciousness is not blame. There's a difference, okay? You know, if you want your man to retreat, tell him he's wrong. Bye-bye. I'm gone, right? Okay, so we don't want to do that. They are enough. They aren't wrong. You're just breathing consciousness into this action of retreating versus moving forward, right? It's a dance. It's an energy dance going forward and backwards. You want to both be moving forward at the same time. And so the last higher truth card that I have here is that love is compassion. So you do need to put yourself in the shoes of the other person and become compassionate. You do need to have understanding. You need to care enough to be able to understand what their point of view is. You also need to not judge. Okay, we're not labeling right or wrong, fault or blame, who did what, how they did it. It is what it is. Remember these cards. It's how you feel and how I feel, how you feel, how I feel, and it is what it is. Like there's no sense in debating it. It is there. It's all if we want to then mirror love or pain. Are we mirroring love or are we mirroring pain? So here's the last part of what I want to share with you, and then we're going to install a code for the medicine of the moment for this segment. And this is the cards, the pain and remedy cards. Now, guys, comment in the comments if you think it would be fun to have an exploding hearts tarot deck, like an oracle deck that were nicely designed, perhaps with codes on each of the remedies, to be able to help people work through relationship issues with this deck. Let me know. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. So here's the pain with the remedy. Now, I took inspiration from what's called the Enneagram. If you've ever heard of the Enneagram is basically personas which have been defined based on people's core fears and core desires, okay? So there's 9 of them, but there's actually, I don't think I did all 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, only 7 of them made sense as it related to relationships, so I may add more later. But I think you're going to find if you can ask these questions in every relationship issue that you have with a lens of compassion, knowing the remedy, you won't have any issues with your relationships, period, because you're going to have you're going to understand why they felt the way they did. Remember, it is how you feel and how they feel is what it is. It's a square. It's here. There's no point in judging why or if it was right or wrong or whose fault it is. That's not productive. That just cycles pain. And so get to the root. How are they feeling related to a core fear or a core desire? And interestingly enough, the core fear is the misunderstanding. The core desire is the remedy. So you'll see what I mean. The pain for someone may be, I'm unloved. Okay, so that's the pain. You see the X on the card. I'm unloved. If someone's feeling unloved, what is the solution? Duh, Anahata. You are loved, right? But it helps to understand, okay, this person is not feeling loved. And since we all know we want to make each other feel good, I'm trying to find that card. It's a key, remember the key. We want to make each other feel good. Then we want to make each other feel loved, if that's the issue, correct? I hope so. So that's one core pain with the remedy. Here's another. You may feel the misunderstanding. Again, that's the problem with the issue is, the problem is the lack of understanding, and the solution is understanding. And so we are going with, I don't make sense. When we feel like we don't make sense, or someone's saying we don't make sense, that does not feel good. So the remedy for this fear or feeling or pain, the remedy is for the person to understand. I understand you. I understand you. Let's go with another pain and remedy. Ooh, this is a big one for nurturers. And you can see the retreating action. Why the man retreated? Because he feels like he's wrong, right? And so he's got to pull back. But the woman is saying, I'm unheard. You're not listening. I'm unheard. And guys, the remedy is not to retreat. The remedy is to understand, because remember, withdrawal is a frowny face. We don't want to do that. Right? That doesn't feel good to nurturers. And so the remedy is for the man or woman to say, you are heard. You are heard. I hear you. Yes, I hear you. And not only that, I understand you, and you are loved. Woo! Can you feel these remedies layering in? Okay, here we go. Here's another one. This one is male-based. They feel they aren't needed. I am not needed. See, there's an X. It's a pain point. It's a fear. And the remedy, of course, is you're needed. You are needed. You are understood. You are heard. You are loved. Oh, here's a good one. Well, not a good one. Here's a vicious one that tends to fall on the man's shoulder, feeling I am bad. I'm defective in some way, right? I'm not providing. And again, if you are expressing your lack of being provided for to them, aka bickering, they're going to retreat. They're not going to go, oh, you know what? I want to screw up more, right? No, they feel judged. So you need to go with the remedy, which is, you are good. You are good. You're doing a good job. Another fear, I am weak. There's an X there denoting the pain. And the remedy, you are strong. You are strong. You are not being manipulated. You are not a softie. You are confident and strong. And I appreciate that about you. You are not weak. Okay? Now, the last one that's on here for now, and there could be others, these are just based on the Enneagram core fears and desires. And this is a big one, especially for men. I am not good enough, right? Why do they feel that way? Because that's all they're hearing is your complaints. But you're complaining because you're feeling like your love isn't received. You see that cycle that goes around and around, and in fact, it's a spiral. And so the point of all of this, guys, is we get to choose what we want more of. And if we can understand how we are feeling without judgment, that's the key. We're not judging if it's right or wrong, good or bad. It is what it is. It's a square. It's here. You feel that way, and it's real. Okay? It's not up to us to decipher if it's a merited thing, if it's justified, if what were the factors involved. It is what it is. How can we remedy that? By looking at the core fear that was realized. What's going wrong here? And how can we look at the remedy and go, oh, okay, if you're feeling this way, then I need to show you this in response. Why? Because you don't want an exploding heart. You want an exploding heart of love, not pain. All right, guys, so I hope that makes sense. Now, listen, I pulled a code for this, if you can believe it. Out of thousands of codes, we went straight to the assisting frequency category of flower essence, particularly agrimony. Now, I didn't remember anything about agrimony. I'm going to put the link in here for you, but holy cow, it was perfect, of course. If you're curious how to pull a code, I encourage you to join the Masterclass series, which is a 5-week series. It's $50 to enroll, and you're going to always have access to all of the classes. One of the classes, I teach you how to pull codes. And so the code came instantly, and let me just read about this medicine, this agrimony flower essence, and then we're going to install it, and it's going to help really provide access to the essence of what all of this means, this game of exploding hearts, and how you can leverage understanding and unconditional love and remedy those feelings of misunderstanding that occur between usually a man and a woman, but could be between anyone. So agrimony, I will send you this link. Again, the assisting frequency, you will have access to the collective definition, and you will have access to dynamically activating self-healing automatically. So any parts of this that you need assistance with anyway, right? The polarity is also there. If you're hyper, it will be hypo. If you're hypo, it will be hyper. You know, it will balance you into the center, okay? It's self-directed, dynamic healing activations based on what you need personally. And so agrimony is going to give you access to, well, I'm just going to read it, okay? Here we go. It's one of the 38 flower essences by Bach Flower. And he's no longer alive, but he's awesome. He was awesome. And this agrimony supports the process of opening up one's feelings. Guys, that's a major source of relationship issues, is closing off your feelings and not expressing, right? For this, because you feel you're not going to be understood, and it's just going to be worse, right? So this is going to help open up your feelings, stand in your truth while developing inner peace and calmness, okay? Let's see, what else? Help with anxiety, hidden worries, anything like that you're going through. Oversensitivity, okay? Guys, sometimes it's like one little thing and suddenly all these unresolved feelings, it's like the tipping point, right? And we become super sensitive to things that really shouldn't bother us, okay? So this is going to assist with that. Let's see. If you're feeling like you always have to put on a happy face and you don't want to show your inner feelings, again, this is all about helping you with feelings. Authenticity. That is paramount in a relationship. Guys, if you are pretending in any way, that is not going to go away. Eventually, it's going to rear its ugly head. If you send things to shadow and you're not being authentic, that shadow is still pulling realities towards you, and you're going to be triggered is what's going to happen. So we don't want that either. Consciousness is what we want. Understanding is what we want, without blame and without judgment, unconditionally. So this is going to help get in touch with your true feelings, openness, acceptance. It's got a strong shielding quality. That's beneficial. Protecting from negative, violating, parasitic energies and people. Guys, sometimes relationships just aren't good for us, right? Sometimes we have toxic relationships, and this is going to protect us from that. Let's see here. There was something that I saw earlier. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so, it supports an individual in becoming aware of painful feelings rather than stuffing them or holding them inside. This can transform your patterns, fostering a deep sense of peace and calm, okay? So this is, I think, perfect for us based on what we just talked about. And let's install it. So left palm up, right hand on your heart. We're going to install the assisting frequency of Agrimony, Flower Essence, and then I'm going to let you all go. Sorry we went so long. Here we go. We ask for, accept, align with, and hold this Anahata code. With gratitude, we attain the assisting frequency of the Flower Essence Agrimony. 2389-32839. 2389-32839. 2389-32839. 2389-32839. 2389-32839. 2389-32839. 2389-32839. And both hands on your heart, and breathe with gratitude. It is so. All right, guys. So I hope that is helpful to breathe compassion and understanding into your relationships, to allow you to stop mirroring the pain through your confusion, because the only reason why you're not aligned is you're not understanding the way the other person's feeling. And if you can remember that the way you feel, it is what it is. There's no point in judging or condemning or closing off or retreating. Do you want to cycle love, or do you want to cycle pain? And so how can we use these core fears as lenses to look to the remedy and to go, oh my gosh, they acted that way because they're feeling this way. And now it's my job, if I care about them, to shower them with the remedy, right? To let them know that their fears aren't real and that it was a misunderstanding. And so let me know about exploding hearts. It's kind of like exploding kittens, but exploding hearts. Hey, we may do it. That could be fun. Anyway, I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day, and just love on each other, okay? Understand we're all human. Understand we all have built-in fears, built-in desires, and that the way we get along is all about how we can understand each other. And to understand each other, we need to have compassion, no judgment, no blame, and understanding. Go! the higher knowledge card with the sun on the top. All right, guys. God bless you on your path to wholeness and all you will facilitate for others. I hope this was beneficial. God bless you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.